So believe it or not, the number one reason most passport applications get rejected is because of the photo. The State Department has very specific guidelines that you have to follow, otherwise your application is getting rejected. What's worse, sometimes a photo will get rejected and applicants don't even really know what they did wrong. But listen, you gotta get it right, because if you have to reapply, that starts the clock all over again, and that means you're waiting even longer to get your new passport. I'm gonna share 10 of the most common mistakes that people make when getting their passport photo taken. And if you stick with me till the end, I'll show you a trick that makes it possible for you to take perfect pictures with your own smartphone. I'm Sheldon with USPassportServiceGuide.com, and like always, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to make sure these tips can get out to as many people as possible to help them out. If you have any questions that we don't answer today, be sure to drop a comment and we'll be right there to help you out. We've been doing this for over 20 years, and it's viewers like you that keep us going. When it comes to getting a passport photo taken, you got two options. One is to go the professional route. Have a photographer who specializes in passport photos take care of it for you. And that could be at a place like Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, heck, even the US Postal Service. These photo services will make sure you get the perfect shot, and they'll let you preview what your photo looks like before you leave, so you can make sure you're happy for the next 10 years with a photo stuck in your book. The other option is you can take your own passport photo using your own smartphone. I want to be upfront, this is probably a two-person operation. While we have heard stories of people being able to successfully take their own passport photo by themselves with a smartphone, we don't recommend it. It's a lot easier to have somebody else make sure that everything fits in frame and everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to be before you take that shot. I personally have gone both routes. For my first passport, I got it taken at a post office when I submitted my DS-11 form. For my second passport, my wife helped me out. She took the picture, it passed the State Department's test, and I got my passport issued. For my third, I had to renew, but I had to renew in a rush. So I used an expediting service, and they hooked me up with a photographer who made sure I got the perfect shot and my application wasn't delayed at all. Whichever path you choose, these tips will apply. It all comes down to making sure you do what you need to do on your side of the camera to make sure everything turns out right on the other side of the camera and your application goes through without a hitch. The first major mistake that most people make is head positioning. You got to remember you're taking a 2" by 2" square photo. In that photo, your head, from chin to crown, needs to take up about 50 to 70% of that image. So what you're going to want to do is make sure you're standing against a solid colored wall, and you're going to move forward and back until the person taking your picture tells you you've hit the perfect ratio. We have a smartphone tip at the end of the video if you're going the DIY route to make sure that you get it exactly perfect. Mistake number 2 is your expression. I don't care how happy you are, how sad you are, how grumpy you are. You want to have a very flat expression. The main reason for this is the State Department doesn't want shadows on your face. When you over-smile, it can create shadows. It can obscure your eyes. It can do things that make it harder for facial recognition to match you with your passport photo. Mistakes number 3 and 4 we're going to put together, and we kind of just mentioned it. It has to do with your background. You want a neutral white background. No patterns, no designs, no wallpaper. Even my wall's got a little bit of texturing on it. I might not take that risk. You want a flat, white surface. And the other part of this is shadows. You want to make sure there's nothing behind you in your image, just a plain white background. If you're not sure how to pull that off, the best thing you can do is make sure you use lighting sources that cover both you directly and cover the background from an angle. That'll wash out any potential for shadows there. If the lighting is something that concerns you, this may be a reason why you want to get your passport photo taken by somebody else where they have the lights already set up for you. If you're going the DIY route, move a floor lamp, face a north-facing window, try different rooms, see what you can do to get the most optimal, even lighting for your picture. Mistake number 5 is a holdover from old passport policies. You used to be able to wear glasses in your passport photo. You can't do that anymore. I don't care if you're blind as a bat. Your glasses need to be off your face, and there needs to be literally nothing between the camera and you. That also includes headwear. So unless you have a documented medical or cultural reason why you need to wear headwear in your photo, take it off. That said, if you can document that you have a medical reason or a cultural reason for having to wear headwear, be prepared to have some kind of written and signed document attesting to that fact. Otherwise, you risk having your passport photo rejected. Mistake number 6 comes down to your fashion and your style. We all want to look good, especially in a photo that's going to be sticking around for the next 10 years. That said, there are very strict rules as to what you can and cannot wear. For one, no crazy bold patterns, nothing distracting. That also includes military fatigues, uniforms, camouflage patterns, All of those are going to lead to your passport photo being rejected. Try to stick to a plain neutral color with a very plain neckline, so that way you're not creating shadows or any kind of distractions that may alter the color or the balance of your photograph and detract from your face, which is really what they're looking for. But what about accessories? Well, we already know glasses are out, but what about jewelry? Well, you can wear earrings, you could have a nose ring. If you have a piercing somewhere else, that's fine. Try to pick the smallest, least audacious studs you can find. Try to minimize what the jewelry does in your photo. We want to make sure there's no glare and no shadows. Otherwise, your photo is going to get rejected. If you're not sure, skip the accessories. Wear them on your trip, not in your passport photo. Mistake number 7 is your photo has to be as natural as possible. It must be true to life, it must be full color, no black and white. But that also means no filtering those images either. And here's the other piece. You can't retouch your photos. So even if you have like a little blemish that you wish you could kind of erase out, or there's something that happened in the photo that you just want to crop out or delete, you can't do it. Any signs of editing is an instant disqualification for your passport photo. Get your shot as perfect as you can, as natural looking as you can, and if you don't like it, just retake it. Mistake number 8 comes to actually physically printing out your photo. Now, if you go someplace like CVS or Walmart or the post office, they'll handle this for you. They will make sure your photo is exactly the way it needs to be, which is a 2" by 2" square. Anything larger or smaller is gonna get rejected. If you're printing on your own, make sure you're printing at 100% scale for a 2" by 2" photo. Make sure you're using either matte or glossy photo paper, and make sure the print is free from any creases or smudges or imperfections. Keep printing it until you get it perfect. Or take your photo someplace where they do professional photo printing and have them print it for you. Mistake number 9 is for all you DIY passport photo takers out there. The home setup is everything, and it's actually not that hard if you plan ahead. If you're not sure if you have the right background, just find a plain white sheet and hang it up behind you. When it comes to lighting, you're going to get 2 different light sources of equal power, and you're going to want to position them at a 45-degree angle on either side of your face. What this does is this will offset any shadows caused by each light. And the last piece is making sure that your camera is stable, either with someone taking it for you or on a tripod, so you can get things lined up exactly the way you need them. Cutting corners on any of these steps are why DIY photos fail. It's not hard to do it right, you just have to plan ahead. Mistake number 10 is a mistake some people don't even realize is a mistake. Your phone usually has 2 cameras, the back facing and then the selfie camera. Do not use the selfie camera to take a passport photo. It's not as sharp, the resolution is not as high as your main camera. Not only that, you're more likely to get shadows or other imperfections if you're sticking your arm out and trying to twisting and turning to make sure you get that perfect shot. I don't care how many likes you have on Instagram or how many followers you have on TikTok, even the best selfie experts are going to struggle to take a perfect passport photo with that selfie camera. Get a buddy, use the main camera. So after all that, if you're not confident that you're going to be able to take your own passport photo, go to the pros. Here's a list of the current retail prices for passport photos at some of the leading locations across the country. Odds are you can find one of these somewhere near where you live. One caveat, if you're trying to get your passport photo taken at an acceptance facility, like a post office or a regional passport agency, make sure that they have photo services available and make sure that's part of your appointment. It takes longer if you have to get a passport photo and they need to budget the time to make sure they can fit you in and they have somebody to take that photo for you. Showing up with a complete application and just expecting to get a passport photo taken without any prior notice isn't going to work out well for you. Plan ahead. Some of the other most common questions we get about passport photos have to do with things like hair and makeup. The general rule is keep it simple. You want to keep your hair off your face and you want to keep as natural a finish as possible. Remember, the goal of a passport photo is to match you, the person, with the picture in your passport. Another question we get all the time is, what about kids and babies? They need passport photos too, right? Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, they're some of the hardest photos to take. Why? Because kids squirm. It's hard to get them to make a neutral expression. And sometimes you just want to hold them and put them in the right position. But here's the thing, you can't. Even babies need to be completely alone in their passport photo. So here's how you do it. For a baby, get a white sheet, lay them down, and you're going to take the photo from over top. All the lighting things we told you, All the directives we gave about not having objects or accessories extends to babies as well. No pacifiers, no toys, nothing else, just the baby. And get as many pictures as you can. Odds are you'll eventually get one that's going to work. Now, you're not going to lay a small child down on the ground to take their picture. They're going to stand up and use the same setup an adult would use, just shorter. But again, have some patience. Make sure you're giving plenty of time to make sure you can get that perfect shot. You can't be in the picture. Toys can't be in the picture. Your child has to be alone, standing with a 50 to 70% head coverage in that photo. For more questions, check out the link in the description. We've put together a guide for how you can balance style and compliance to make sure you're looking your best in that passport photo and feeling comfortable at the same time with that photo you're going to be stuck with for the next 10 years. So there you have it. Hope you get the perfect shot. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this content with anybody you think it might help. And for any other questions you have, check out our channel or uspassportserviceguide.com. Safe travels.